Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure.
What if your whole life, everything you knew and trusted, suddenly started to feel off? Like, really weirdly off? And it made you question everything? And what if that feeling pushed you to go out and find answers, leading you to a whole new understanding of yourself and the world? That's kind of the big idea we're diving into today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited because today we're going to talk all about Barbie. You know, the movie that was everywhere. We're going to go through the whole story, from her super pink world to the, well, not so pink real world, and then we'll chat about some of the bigger ideas the movie gets you thinking about. So, if you're into movies that are fun but also have a lot to say, definitely hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss out on our chats. So, the movie starts in Barbieland. And believe me, this place is like every kid's dream of Barbie's world come to life. It's bright, it's happy, and everything is just perfect. Our main Barbie, who they call stereotypical Barbie, is played by Margot Robbie, and she's amazing. She lives in this awesome dream house where there are no walls on one side, so you can see everything. She wakes up, pretends to shower without any water, has a make-believe breakfast, and just floats down to her cool pink car. All the Barbies in Barbieland have these incredible jobs like president, doctor, scientist, astronaut, you name it, a Barbie is doing it and doing it great. And the Kens? Well, the Kens are there too. Ryan Gosling plays the main Ken, Beach Ken, and he's hilarious. His whole day is pretty much about hoping Barbie will notice him. Think about perfect beach days, big song and dance numbers that just happen, and every night is a giant party for all the Barbies. It's a world where girls run everything, and it's all sunshine and fun. It's so perfect, you almost have to wonder, can life really be like this all the time? Could there be something missing when everything is always exactly right? But then, things start to get a little strange. Right in the middle of a huge fun dance party, Barbie just blurts out with a big smile, "Do you guys ever think about dying?" You can imagine, the music just stops. Everyone freezes. It's super funny, but also makes you go, whoa, what was that? After that, Barbie's perfect life starts to have these little problems. Her pretend shower is cold. Her toast is burnt. She falls off her roof instead of floating. And then, the biggest shock for a Barbie. Her feet, which are always arched like she's wearing invisible high heels, go totally flat. I mean, can you imagine? For Barbie, this is like her whole world turning upside down. It makes her question who she even is. She's really worried, so she goes to see Weird Barbie. Weird Barbie, played by Kate McKinnon, is basically the doll that got played with way too hard. Her hair is all chopped and colored, she's got marker on her face, and she's always doing the splits. She's kind of the wise, odd one out in Barbieland. Weird Barbie tells our Barbie that these strange things are happening because something's wrong between Barbieland and the real world. She thinks it's because the person playing with Barbie in the real world is really sad. The only way for Barbie to fix herself and go back to being perfect is to go to the real world, find this person, and help them feel better. It sounds like a quest in a fairy tale, right? But imagine leaving a place where you know you'll always be happy to go to a place you know nothing about. That takes a lot of guts. So, Barbie gets ready for her trip. She wears this super bright neon rollerblading outfit, which is a total throwback. But she doesn't go alone. Ken, who really doesn't want to be left behind, hides in her car. He just can't imagine life without Barbie around. Their trip to the real world is shown in this really fun way, with them using all sorts of toy-like ways to travel, a car, a boat, a camper, even a rocket ship. It's like they're moving from their play world to a much more complicated one. When they get to Venice Beach in Los Angeles, it's a huge shock. The real world is super noisy, messy, and honestly, people aren't very nice to Barbie. Guys shout rude things at her, and for the first time ever, she feels awkward and even a little ashamed. It's so different from Barbieland, where everyone loved her. She finds out that some people in the real world, like a teenage girl named Sasha, think Barbie actually made girls feel bad about themselves by setting an impossible example of what to look like. That's a really tough thing to hear when you've always thought you were a good role model. Ken, though, has a totally different time. While Barbie is feeling all these new bad feelings, Ken wanders off and finds out about something called the Patriarchy. That's a big word, but it basically means a system where men are in charge and have most of the power. He sees men being treated with respect, men doing manly things. He gets really into horses, and it's like a light bulb goes on in his head. For a guy who used to just be and Ken, this idea that men can be in charge is amazing to him. He reads a bunch of books about it, though he doesn't quite get it right, and gets this big idea to bring it back to Barbieland. He finally feels like he can be someone important, not just Barbie's boyfriend. Barbie, after some searching, finds Sasha. But it turns out the strong feelings affecting Barbieland are mostly coming from Sasha's mom, Gloria. Gloria works at Mattel, the company that makes Barbie dolls. Gloria, played so well by America Ferrera, has been feeling down and has been sketching Barbies that show her own worries and dreams, like Barbie who thinks about death a lot, or Barbie with cellulite. It's a really touching moment when Barbie realizes that her connection is with a grown woman and all her complicated feelings about life. Gloria and Sasha, who's still not sure about Barbie, decide to go back to Barbieland with her. But surprise! While Barbie was dealing with all that, Ken got back to Barbieland first, and he's totally changed it. Barbieland is now Kendom. The beautiful dream houses are now mojo, dojo, casa houses, which are basically man caves full of horse pictures, big TVs, and fridges full of beer. And the other Barbies, the presidents and doctors, they've somehow been brainwashed into being like maids and adoring girlfriends to the Kens. It's a shocking and kind of funny, but also sad, change. The Kens are loving it. They finally feel like they're the important ones, even if their idea of being in charge is pretty silly. When Barbie, Gloria, and Sasha show up, they can't believe their eyes. Barbie is heartbroken. She feels like she's failed everyone. She didn't fix herself, and now her home is ruined. This is her worst moment. But Gloria, who knows what it's like to be a woman in the real world, gives this amazing, powerful speech. She talks about all the crazy, impossible things women are expected to be all at once. Be strong, but not too bossy. Be successful, but also be a perfect mom. Be pretty, but not like you're trying too hard. Her words are so true and hit so hard that they start to wake up the other Barbies. They realize they've been tricked and that they're stronger than they were acting. Inspired by Gloria and remembering who they are, the Barbies come up with a super smart plan to get their world back. They don't fight the Kens with force. Instead, they use the Kens' own big egos and their new feelings of being super important against them. They pretend to be really impressed by the Kens when they talk on and on about stuff they barely understand. They act like they need help with silly things, and they cleverly make the Kens jealous of each other. This all leads to a giant, ridiculous beach battle between all the Kens. It's less of a fight and more of a silly dance-off with a lot of feelings. While the Kens are busy fighting each other, the Barbies quickly change all the rules back and take control of Barbieland again. After everything calms down, Barbie and Ken have a real, honest talk. Ken, crying, tells her how he always felt like he was just Ken, always in her shadow, and how Kendom made him feel like he was finally somebody, even if it was all wrong. Barbie, who's learned a lot, says she's sorry for not realizing how he felt, but she also tells him, very clearly, that he needs to figure out who he is on his own, not just as her boyfriend or as the boss of Kendom. It's a big step for both of them. Ken starts to think maybe he can just be Kenough, good enough just as himself. And Barbie really starts to wonder what she wants out of life now, beyond just being the perfect Barbie. Then, in a really beautiful and kind of magical scene, Barbie meets the spirit of Ruth Handler, the woman who created the Barbie doll. Ruth tells her that it's okay to change, that being human means you're always changing and growing, and that she doesn't need anyone's permission to be different. This talk gives Barbie the courage to make a huge decision. She doesn't want to just be an idea of a perfect woman anymore. She wants to be a real person, making her own ideas and living her own life. She chooses to become human with all the good, the bad, the messy, and the wonderful things that come with it, even if it means having cellulite and going to the gynecologist. The movie ends with her, now calling herself Barbara Handler, confidently walking into a doctor's office. It's a funny but also really meaningful way to show she's starting her new, real life. Barbie was directed by Greta Gerwig, who also wrote it with Noah Baumbach. When it came out in 2023, it was huge. It wasn't just a hit movie, it was something everyone was talking about. It made a ton of money and won awards, like an Oscar for that beautiful song, What Was I Made For, by Billie Eilish. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach didn't just make a fun movie about a doll. They used Barbie, this toy that everyone knows, to talk about some really big stuff. Like, what's the point of life? Barbie has to figure that out when her perfect world stops being perfect. The movie also talks a lot about how men and women are treated differently. It pokes fun at Ken's attempt to create a man's world, and it really cheers on the women as they find their voices and power. It looks at what it means to be a woman today, with all the confusing expectations. What does it really mean for Barbie to leave her perfect toy world and become human? Maybe the movie is saying that being truly alive and finding out who you are is better than being perfect, even if it's harder. The amazing thing about this film is how it can be super funny and silly one minute and then really smart and make you feel things the next. It shows how you can go from being just what someone else imagines you to be being your own person. It makes us think, how much are we letting other people decide who we are? And what does it take to be truly ourselves? This movie is like a big pink invitation to think about all that. When Barbie chooses to be human, it's not just about getting a real body. It's about choosing all of it. The good times, the bad times, the confusing times, and the joy of not knowing exactly what's next, but being able to decide for yourself. It's about saying that maybe being human, with all its flaws, is the most perfect thing you can be. I'd really love to know what you thought about Barbie. What part stuck with you the most? Did you find Ken's journey interesting, or were you all about Barbie finding herself? What big ideas do you think the movie was trying to get across about our own world? Please share all your thoughts in the comments below. I'm excited to read them. Thanks so much for hanging out and talking about movies with me today, and I can't wait to explore another one with you all very soon.